the miles and cars now, whichever get up. Light up my card with a sweet one bliss. Someone flicks me a back by the end. So, it's another one. It's another one, yeah. It's a full scrun, yeah. Oh, it's another one. It's another one, yeah.
Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode. What episode is it, Ricky? You said 41?
I think it's episode 41, mate, yeah.
Episode 41 of Crossroads in Boxing with myself and Ricky. CJ will be joining us at some point tonight. He's been, he'll tell us about his exploits when he gets back. But tonight we've got a good show. We're going to review and go through the Buatsi Parker fight. A lot of opinions on that. I'm sure people will be in the comments split on what they thought happened in that fight. But before that, we have got a guest. We have got a guest on, who Ricky will introduce after we hit the promo video. So.
Everything's crashed.
Go for it, Rick.
Hi, everyone. I would like to welcome to the stage former national amateur champion and future, what we reckon will be a future professional champion in Gideon, the Nightmare Anaba.
Yes.
Gideon, you right, mate?
Yeah, you're right.
You good?
Yeah, I'm all good, thank you.
So, Gideon,
Yes.
just tell us a little bit about yourself, mate, if you want.
Obviously, my name's Gideon. Currently, I want to know as a professional at light heavyweight. Making my second pro fight on November 21st. I'll give you a little bit of a background of my amateur pedigree. I'm a one-time national champion. I only had 16 amateur fights as amateur, so I didn't have many amateur fights, but I thought it was the right decision for me to turn pro at a young age. I turned pro at 18, and now I'm 20, just turned 20, so not too much about me, but I'm here to make some noise in the pro game.
See, the thing is 16 amateur fights and be able to win the national championship as well is very impressive. Eric, I don't know what you've done with Scream, mate, but why did you start boxing? What made you start boxing?
Say that again, sorry.
What made you start boxing and why?
It goes to back when I was like 7 years old. I remember my dad coming home and he was like, "Do you want to go boxing one day?" I was like, "Yeah, why not?" I remember had no clue about what boxing was. I just wanted to do it because I was quite a big lad. I was quite a fat kid. So I guess my dad wanted me to do it just to lose a bit of weight. So I remember going to the gym for the first time, not too far from my house actually, and just doing it for fun. And I remember when I turned about 10, 11, I joined a proper amateur gym, which I'm at now, Doncaster Plant Works. And ever since then, I just stuck at it. And the rest is history.
Yeah, for anyone that don't know as well, the Plant is a very prestigious and very good amateur boxing gym. I think when I was younger as well, it was where I sparred once a couple of times, and it also was the home of Jason Cunningham, I believe.
Yeah.
It's the first boxing gym I ever went to, because I'm from Goole. When I moved to Donny like 22, 23, I moved to Donny, and I didn't box. I just liked boxing. I played football, always played football, and I didn't know anybody in Donny, and I was like, right, I need to do something where I had no friends or anything. So I just like, you know what? Let me see where the nearest boxing gym was, and it was a Plant because I lived in Baldy.
Yeah.
So I lived in Bobby, so I searched up boxing gym. It was a plant, and it was Ken Ball. Ken
Yeah,
Ball, who ran it. So I rang him, said to him like, I'm new to the area. Can I come and train or whatever? And he said, yeah, come down. And that was the first gym I ever went to. Funny enough.
yeah.
It
Um,
was
It's of time.
it changed locations, didn't it, as well? Because
it did,
when I
yeah,
went years
literally.
ago, it was a
It, lit-
partition. You had the bags and then the ring, and that's when
Yeah,
I went when I was little.
yeah.
well,
So now
where it was.
we're in an old like school building now,
Yeah.
Shady Side. So yeah, we have changed into a bigger building. So it's not too bad now.
So with your national championships, obviously, I've checked out the profile of what it were, and is it true? Because I don't know if it is or not. That the kid that you boxed was 15 kg overweight as well.
Yeah. So when I boxed in the nationals, I boxed at 80 kilo plus. So you could weigh in at any weight. So it was just like super heavyweight, really.
Heavyweight,
Right,
yeah,
So
yeah.
okay,
Right,
I
yeah.
get you. Jesus
so I was
Christ,
the
so
light.
fifteen.
I was the lightest in the division. I only weighed in around 85 kilos, and everyone I boxed, well, the two lads that I boxed were 15, 20 kilos heavier than me, which was a bit crazy. I remember the first guy I boxed in the semi-final. He was 130 kilos, something like that. 170 kilos, about 7 foot tall, and I still managed to beat him. So these
Jesus
kids,
Christ.
them kids
Jesus.
were no joke. Them kids were no joke, man.
The thing is as well, like for me, like I know, like you've got say 80 kg beyond, but also there needs to be a little bit of a common sense because there's no way you should be stepping in the ring with people at 100 kg plus when you're only 85
No,
kg.
so that's what I'm saying. When like as a kid, I boxed in the nationals. I think I was 16. So as a kid, I was just always a chubby kid, but I carried it well. So I thought it was all right for me to box at those weights. But obviously, as you get older, you realize that these aren't the weights you're supposed to box at. Especially like when you're boxing men. You know,
Yeah.
we've started to figure out like I'm not that weight, but as a kid, you can kind of get away with it. I was always quite strong as a kid. I'm still quite strong now, but as a kid, I used to get away with it because I always had, the strength and power on my side. So, we obviously thought it was just no problem boxing at that weight.
So what's it like cutting weight now then? Now you have to actually make a weight.
Yeah,
What is it, light heavy? What, light heavy? Did you
light
say?
heavyweight. Yeah.
Yeah. Now you have to make weight, and so what's it like making weight? Or are
Making weight
you just
now, like
naturally?
making weight now, because I, 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 I stay at the weight I am now. So like making weight is not too hard. Whereas before I couldn't make like 80 kilos. So I was always walking around 90, 95 kilos.
Yeah.
But now I walk around 86 kilos. So making like heavyweight is not too bad. But in future, talking about world titles, I'll probably do super middleweight when I'm doing day before.
That was my.
Yeah, doing day
Yeah, that
before
was going to be
weigh-ins.
my next question.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was going
yeah.
to be my next question. As you go through, obviously you want to know as you
Mm,
go through the levels and gaining more experience in your body, and you'll know your body more. Obviously,
yeah,
boxing as a pro and nutritionists and stuff like that. What you've
yeah.
got at hand. What weight was you gonna stay? What would you start at really as a full-time pro?
Um, so obviously for now we are just doing light heavyweight. So I was thinking
Mm,
we're doing light heavyweight as a comfortable weight, boxing these journeymen, not killing yourself to make a certain weight for now, because I'm only boxing 4 rounds at the end of the day. So we thought there was no need to drain yourself to make a weight just to do 4 rounds.
Yeah.
yeah.
So we did say in future when we get the opportunity, we're gonna do super middleweight, which is more ideal for me. I think I'll be really good at that weight. I think I'll be one of the biggest in that weight.
How
Um,
tall are you?
I'm about 5'11", 6 foot.
All right.
So
Okay.
Yeah. So
um,
this is more like a transition period for you, isn't it? So while
yeah,
you
Yeah.
fight,
Yeah.
while you're growing your baby teeth and learning to walk
yeah, yeah,
in the light heavyweight division, you'll then, as you're starting to establish your name and get yourself there
yeah,
and get yourself used to the professional game,
yeah, exactly.
you'll start boxing and making that
Yeah,
weight and cutting
exactly.
down to super middle
Yeah.
comfortably.
Right now, this is
So
just a learning stage for me. So we're just getting the rounds in, and then when it's down to business, then I'll be in a new weight division.
So take us back a little bit then. Your national championships, your final. What was it like for you in that moment when you got your hand raised at the end of the bell and you took home that medal?
I'll tell you something now. So I remember winning that, not understanding what I've achieved. So I remember my hand being raised and I weren't really bothered, because I remember my coach shouting at me in the second round, telling me to wake up or I'm gonna lose this fight. So when I won it, I was like, I box crap. Like I weren't really bothered about winning the national title. So I remember it got to a point when it was like a week after the fight, and then I got a message off one of our old coaches, and he said, "You know, you're the best in England in your weight division." I was like, "Damn, really?" So that's when it started to hit. I was like, okay, maybe I've achieved something. So if you're asking how I felt at that point, I wasn't really bothered, to be fair. I was like, I box well, but
in the moment. But that's a competitor though. That's a competitor, like, because when you know you've not performed, you sort of hard on yourself. No matter what the result, you're like, I should have done better. But like you said,
exactly.
Best in the country. It is definitely something to be proud of, and I hope you celebrated after you realised what you've done.
We did 100%. We did a week later.
Have you still got the medal?
Yeah, I've still got the medal. I didn't bring it. If I remember, I would have brought it. But I've still got the medals.
Yeah.
I boxed in the nationals 3 times actually. The other 2 I came up short. I lost in the finals, so I came semi-finalist, and then I boxed in the youths, and I lost in the semi-finals.
Yeah.
Quarterfinals.
Okay.
So one of them 2. I won a bronze medal. But the other 2 I came up short. But yeah.
So fast forwarding then from your amateur career, national champion, to making your pro debut, so deciding to go pro. What was it like for you in that moment of the lights, the cameras, the crowds, and you realizing that you get into that ring walk, your first ever ring walk, that you realize that this is serious? What was that moment like for you?
It was completely different. Nothing I've experienced before. Because obviously in the amateurs you don't really experience ring walks like that. You know, it's just 2 steps in the end of the ring.
Tiger.
So it was a lot different just seeing everyone. So I embraced it all. If you look at the videos, I just embraced it all. Took my time with it, because you only get one debut at the end of the day. So I was like, let me enjoy it. But in terms of how I felt, it was just the same. I'm entering another fight, just like any other day. So it just felt like another day for me.
Does it feel different? The size of the gloves, because what you'll be wearing 10 ounces now.
Yeah, 10 ounces.
10 ounces now. Obviously, that's what do you wear at 16s in amateurs?
In amateurs, we wear 12s. 12
ounces.
You wear
12s. Oh, so it's not that bad then. It's not that much of a difference.
I remember putting on the gloves and I weren't really surprised. I was like, it's kind of like wearing the amateur gloves. Obviously, like the padding's more into your wrist instead of the knuckles. But like I hadn't been hit by 10-ounce gloves. Yeah. The first guy I boxed, he didn't really catch me he didn't catch me with a clean shot. So I hadn't really been hit by 10-ounce gloves. So I couldn't really give you, an idea how it feels. But I didn't really see much of a difference, really. Didn't see much of a difference.
You can feel the knuckle on your face though, can't you?
Yeah. Like there's more of a sting to it. There's more of a sting to it when you do get clipped. But like I said, I haven't really been hit by 10-ounce gloves. So, and I'll try to keep it like that for as long as I can.
keep that face nice.
I'll try to keep it like that for as long as I can. But
so, 21st of November, you're out again against the road warrior Bahadur Karami, who I feel like this is his coming against you. This might be his 18th fight this year. It's a serious journey, man. He's been in the ring this year along with Dan Aziz, Troy Jones, Jamie Mellors. We've got, I think I've got somebody else written down here as well. Taz Nadeem that we saw, Eric, when we went to
Taz,
the Terry Hart show. Now, when you're coming up against somebody like this, who's been around the block, he's been out with some of these pretty good fighters, especially national, and especially Dan Aziz. What's that like for you? What kind of statement are you just going to stick? Is the idea just to stick to a certain game plan, just box how you want to box and learn the kids, or are you going to be looking to more make a statement because this guy's been in with some of the bigger competitors?
I always think to myself, he's just another body in front of me. He's no different. He's like, end of the day, he's just another human being that I'm just going to fight. So I know he's been in with some good guys like Taz and all them lot, but they're not me at the end of the day. I'm my own fighter, you know. So in terms of statement, we'll see. We'll see. November 21st, we'll see. But he's just another body in front of me, and I'm just gonna do a job on him. So simple as that.
So for the people watching, what's your before CJ comes in, what's your style? What kind of fighter are you?
Whatever you need me to be, whatever I have to be. That's what I say. Like, people always ask, "What's my style?" I always say, whatever it has to be on the night. If I need to be a pressure fighter, I can be a pressure fighter. If I need to be a back foot fighter, I can be a back foot fighter. That's what I think makes a great boxer, who can adapt, who can change when he needs to change, and that's what I think I'm good at. So if I need to be a pressure fighter, I can do that. But from watching this guy, I don't watch too much, but he's a strong kid. I'm not really fancying a scrap, to be fair. So I'm just gonna just box his head off. Really,
box his head off.
Box his head off. But if it turns into a scrap, best believe I can do that. So
yeah, you don't want to be scrapping when you don't have to. You don't want to be scrapping.
Exactly.
You don't want to be feeling them 10 ounces when you don't have to.
Exactly. But if he wants a scrap, I can give him a scrap if he likes. So we'll find out.
Gideon, it's nice to see you again, mate. I came nice down to how are you, man? You are well?
Yeah, I'm all good. Thank you.
Good to see you. I'll vouch for him, lads. I went down to Hull a couple of times when he was back up with Curtis. He hits like a train. He moves well. Obviously, you've got top class amateur pedigree, mate. Everyone knows that. So I'll vouch, mate. However you need to fight, however you need to adapt in that ring, I know full well and for a fact that you can do that, mate. I've got every faith in you as well.
Whatever I need to do.
That's it.
When we took Leo sparring to the plant not long back, Leo had a photo with him, and I was watching like little bits of Gideon on the bags, and you could hear the fucking bang, like in the speed, the hand speed as well for somebody his size, like because he's quite muscular. I was thinking, is he going to have fast hands or is he just going to be power shots? And they were both. And I thought for his build as well, like the hand speed, it was very impressive. So moving on to that then, so you obviously you've got your style where you're just going to adapt and mid fight and whatever. What was your boxing inspiration? Like what's
my favorite boxer? The guy I look up to a lot is Joshua Buatsi. Actually, it's actually Joshua Buatsi. Joshua Buatsi is actually one of my favorite boxers and inspires me to box. I remember on my debut, actually, he gave me a message wishing me all the best, which gave me all that confidence, really. But yeah, Joshua Buatsi's the one, man. Joshua Buatsi.
Eric knows his manager, to be fair.
I know Dwayne. Yeah, I do some work with Dwayne, so I do watch parties. So a friend of mine, she throws a watch party, so we're doing Ben versus Eubank 2 as well, and we do commentary on it. So we'll throw a party, we do the commentary, film it live, and basically have a big do afterwards. But yeah, Buatsi's manager, he's friends with Shai, who runs it, who throws the events, and he comes on the panel. So Dwayne's cool, but Buatsi, yeah, we'll get onto that a little bit later before. So that he's the one who got you in boxing. Who have you got any other fighters you enjoy watching?
I do like to watch Junaid Boston, if you know.
Yeah.
I sparred Junaid a few times actually, and he's one of my favorite boxers as well. I like his style, I like his confidence, and even though we lost a few
Fawaz.
weeks back
A few
to
weeks ago.
Fawaz,
Yeah, it was
I
a
still
great fight,
think
though.
I still think Junaid's one of the best UK prospects actually. So
Yeah,
he took an L,
got,
but he took an L, but I think he will 100% bounce back. So
of
I
course
think
you can.
Junaid's a really good lad.
He did
The
well
thing-
to recover when he recovered from the second
yeah.
that
Yeah.
shot. I don't know how he recovered and finished the fight. So
Yeah.
fair
He just
play
got
to
caught
him.
in a shitstorm that he didn't need to get caught in. When he
Yeah.
got boxing and stuck to his boxing, they were a different level. But that
Yeah.
Fawaz
Yeah.
as well, he had a weird style. I mean, with the first few rounds, his hands were up here.
Yeah,
And I thought,
it
what
was,
the fuck's he doing? But he's an awkward. He's
Yeah.
got a lot of energy. It's mostly when Boston sort of got a bit tired. I can't remember what rounds it were. He got tired after he got caught, and he just started slugging out. Fawaz just had the upper game on
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
I felt he got
shame.
into Junaid's head. I felt he got into Junaid's head a bit because when Junaid was boxing, he was schooling him, and then as soon as he kept standing with him, and his corner was telling him, stop standing, stop trading with him. His corner was telling him, he just, I think pride sort of took over, and he fought the wrong fight, but like you said, he's a talent, he'll definitely come again.
The experience he'll gain from that it'll probably benefit him more down the line in his career. I mean, it won't be often you fight someone like Bilal Fawaz, like Ricky says, with that style, but the L means nothing at this stage. He will bounce back massively, like you said, Gideon, and I think down the line it'll be in his locker. You know, he's dealt with a tricky fighter, hasn't he? So he'll move on from that.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Curtis Woodhouse. You're currently with Conor Coggill, as far as like on your social medias. So originally did you sign with Curtis and managed by him, and then you've gone on to what happened there? Was it just a difference in direction, or?
So I started my career off with Curtis Woodhouse, who coached and managed me at the same time. I had my debut with him, and then I just decided, you know what, let's see what we can do. Let's see experience, with other coaches. So I decided to move with Conor Coggill, and me and Conor kind of gelled. I felt like the training and what he was telling me what to do suited me a lot more. So I was like, I think this is going to be perfect. There was no bad blood between me and Curtis. Curtis is a great man. He's helped me a lot, in my amateur and end of my amateurs and the beginning of my pros. So there's no bad blood between us. It was just I thought it was the best for me to move.
Direction to take.
Yeah, just a better direction for me.
What can we expect then? So, like, say you've been pro since you were 18.
Yeah.
You've had one fight. You've got your second one coming up this year. So obviously this year you're sort of sorted now.
Yeah.
Next year then, what can we expect to see? What's the 1 year plan for yourself?
Next year is just to be active. At least get 4 fights in next year.
Yeah.
At least. It's just being active because I've been out the ring for a year now. I made my debut a year ago. So it's just being active. That's what I need. Just being active, getting fights in, getting the experience in, and then hopefully by 2027 we can make some big moves.
Yeah, because this is precious time for yourself, isn't it?
Sorry, Rick. Go on, mate.
No, go on, mate.
I'm stepping in late in this interview, so if someone's asked this or I'm treading on their toes, just tell me to shut up, Gideon. But for some people who might watch this, whether it's live tonight or in the future, we've got some younger fighters that step in. I know Ricky's son. He's got every dream in the world just to be like you, where you've been doing your nationals and then step up. What's the transition like for amateur boxers that are watching, that are looking up to you, who's just done that step? Like the step that a lot of them won't make. Yeah. What's it like turning over? How does the training differ? How's your lifestyle changed? Can you talk about that for us, Gideon?
You know what? The training doesn't really differ. I'm still training. I'm training more than I did in the amateurs. But I feel like the big thing is the business side of the boxing. As an amateur, you're not dealing with selling tickets. You're not dealing with management. You're not dealing with trying to get sponsors to help with your career. So I feel like I felt like it was the business side of the boxing that was really different. But everything else is quite the same. You're still training the same. You're still eating the same. You're still doing everything the same. It's just the business side of the boxing that's quite different, and it can throw a lot of boxers off. It can throw a lot of boxers off because at the beginning of your career, you're not making as much money as you think you would be making. So
Yeah,
it's
of course.
it's a business. It's the business side of boxing.
How important is it? Yeah, everyone sees the million. Everyone thinks that you guys are on millions straight away.
Yeah.
I remember when
that's the 1%.
That's it. I remember when I got into the like pro coaching side, Gideon, and thinking like the first shows I were going to, Joe public sat at home don't realise that lads like yourself, it's the journeyman at the start that's taking away more money.
Exactly.
Innit?
That's what I tell a lot of people. Is they're making more money than what I'm making.
Yeah, that's it, man.
I'm only making a little bit of money, but they're taking a fair bit of money home. So
I think it was Steffi Bull that said, Siege, to be fair. Most journeymen earn more a year than your British champions do.
Yeah,
that's your British champions.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right. Yeah.
So
they're the ones that are willing to get in there with anybody, though, and that's why we need these journeymen. We do need them. I see Americans and that. It's like, oh, he's like 70 and no, why is he still fighting? He's fighting because one, he's making a living for himself, doing something he loves, and also getting prospects ready for the next level, getting prospects battle hardened for the next step in their career to see, do you really want to do this? Because if you're struggling with me, your career is going to be a hard one. So I think journeymen are vital in boxing.
Yeah. But you've got to think, like, without these journeymen, we won't be able to do what we do.
Yeah,
that's right.
Exactly.
If we didn't have these journeymen, people like me will be pushing to fights that we're not necessarily like ready for. And then that's our career gone downhill. So these journeymen are giving us that opportunity to showcase our skills to potentially fight for these world titles.
Yeah, definitely.
So, aside from all that, then obviously,
go on. Sorry, mate.
No, go on, Ricky.
I was just about to say. So obviously, we've gone over the advice that you'd give to the young amateurs from your transitions and everything else. Normally, if everybody else is sort of finished with the questions, I've got like a few get to know you questions that I like to do. So for me, it'd be like, outside of boxing, what's your favourite sports? Your favourite activities?
My favourite sport. So I used to play rugby. So I'll take rugby is probably my favourite. Well, my second favourite sport actually. I used to play rugby union and rugby league. So I'll take rugby. Okay. Yeah, rugby.
Rugby.
Yeah, rugby.
Rugby's
my sport.
You know what? I wasn't even expecting that. Out of all the answers they could have been.
No.
Really? I used to be a rugby player. I used to play for Torba and Doncaster Knights.
No way, man. I would have never guessed that, man.
Yeah. I wouldn't.
The size of it, you can see that now.
Well, yeah. Now you say it. You're looking at it like, oh, fairs, but it's not one of them sports. You know when someone says, "What's your favorite sport?" Rugby is just not in my mind. I'm like, football. But yeah, cool. Go on, Ricky. Your next question.
So you've done a hard fought training camp. You've had your fight, your debut. What's your go-to meal?
My go-to meal. Anything that's unhealthy. Anything that's unhealthy.
That's my current diet, mate, at the minute.
whether it's kebab, whether it's burgers, pizza, anything that's unhealthy, that's my go-to meal.
We had Joe Hayden on, and I think his were Domino's. When we had Adam Smith on, he was already eating something unhealthy before the shows. And if you ask Red Johnson, who you were sparring not too long back, his favourite's women. That's what he said. He said it's his women.
Straight on it, man. Straight on it.
Oh, God.
So what's your favourite pastimes?
Say that again, sorry.
What's your favourite pastimes then? So outside your rugby, outside when it's time to chill, music. What's your favorite stuff to do? Listen to.
You know what? I'm a really lazy person. I'll be honest. I'm a really lazy person. So my spare times, I'm sleeping. I'm asleep, recovering. So, like I said, I always say to myself, I'm born to be a sleeper, but forced to be a boxer, man. I love sleeping, eat, sleeping. I'm happy. I'm a happy man.
It's the best recovery though, mate, as well.
Yeah.
So where can we expect to see you, Gideon, in 5 years' time? Where can we expect to see you? Where are you going to be?
In 5 years' time, how old? I'll be 25.
What's the dream?
The dream is to at least, at the age of 25, is be a British champion.
Yeah, my favorite belt as well.
I'm trying to be realistic. Some people like.
That's what I like to hear. No, I like the British route. I like we like the British route here. Here we like the traditional route, English, British, European, Commonwealth. We like that route because I feel like it gets a fighter a fan base as well. Because they're fighting domestically, they get local. The local people will get behind you if you were fighting British fighters.
Exactly.
It will always happen. And us three, we do like the British route and the traditional route, and we think that all prospects should go through it. I think once, because that also is valuable ring time as well. You get 50-50 fights at the level you're at the moment as well, instead of skipping that, keep from journeyman to nondescript international fighters to then a world title. What you might lose, and where do you go from there? You're not learning too much. So
no,
I like that. I like the British title.
Yeah, so at least be a British champion by 25, if not more. But yeah, I'm trying to be realistic, and hopefully by then I'll be a British champion. Hopefully earlier.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll be speaking to you in 5 years' time. And you've got that British belt, my friend.
Yeah, I'll be holding it. Have a conversation with you.
Podcast, yeah. I'll hold you to that one. When you've got a management team and we can't get in touch with you.
Yeah.
Right. Can we move on then to the shows?
Yeah, Gideon, you're staying with us to analyse the Parker versus Buatsi show, aren't you? So, if we go through that, we'll go to the first fight, which was which one was it? Was it Troy Jones versus Liam Cameron, the first one out of the three?
It depends how far back you want to go. I mean, the first fight of the night was Turkish Tyson versus Ariyeka. I don't know if anybody else caught that fight.
Did, mate? Yeah, did.
Yeah, so that was the one where one of the lads, I think it was Dan, he were reckoning that was originally, obviously with the egg slap, that was going to be the fight of the night, or still the fight of the night. But for me, first round, not barely any punch thrown, won by the referee. A nickname like Turkish Tyson, I expect a bit more aggression, a bit more cutting off the ring, trying to work that body, trying to get on the inside. But I don't know what I thought of it. Like, it heated up a little bit towards the middle rounds and the end rounds, and there were big more shots thrown and people hurt. But Gideon, what were your thoughts on that fight?
I'll be honest, I didn't really watch that fight. I did see the press conference with the egg slap and all of that.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was just like, I want to be Chris Eubank Jr. I was like, this is a waste of time. This, like, I was like, this is a waste of time. This, like, I'm like, you got to keep it professional, and then at the end of the day, like, leave it to them lot to do it. You know, no one knows who you are. You're doing all of this, like. I thought it was a little bit extra, so I was like, I'm not gonna waste my time watching this fight.
It was risky for the
board should have fined him. The board should have fined him. What?
Yeah. That's what
the board should have fined him the same fine Eubank got.
That's what I was thinking.
I was like, done that.
They should have fined. I thought he was gonna get a fine for it. I was like, why are you risking that?
Yeah.
Like, that's probably all your paycheck.
They don't like bloody Eubank, do they? But I mean, one of those when you're slapping eggs on faces, if you're not having the performance like Eubank and Ben actually did, then you don't want to be doing that stuff, because people are expecting fireworks, and we ended up with fucking TKV Adelaide too.
Yeah,
it wasn't a great fight. Eric, did you catch up with that fight?
I saw it, but I wasn't paying much attention because I can't remember his name now, but who's hit him with the egg? He just didn't do anything for the full fight. It was a horrible fight. Honestly, I was literally in and out. The kids was running about, so I was just in and out. I wasn't paying attention until I was just waiting for the main card. Well, the main 3 fights.
Yeah.
The light heavyweight fights. But CJ, go on.
To be fair, I was impressed with Billy Dennis, mate. I'll be honest, I was fucking rooting for him all the way through. Short and compact. I wouldn't go with Turkish Tyson, like you say, but I thought he put his shots together well. He clearly looks like he's got a bit of power. Maybe he needs to stand and plant his feet a little bit more and see what he can get out of there. But Ezra Arienka he wasn't there to perform, let's say, but he was a tough man. I mean, he took some right punches, mate. So. But yeah, I can't wait to see him again. To be fair, I was excited with him.
Did you catch the footwork and the guard of Arienka? Like, did you not find it very unorthodox and awkward? Like, it
very
like
unorthodox.
He kept changing it
at any moment.
It
just weren't for me that style. It did remind me a bit when Faraz came out in the first couple of rounds. He had this weird, awkward, like ungeneric style that I just couldn't work out. But we'll move on then. Liam Cameron versus Troy Jones. Now, this one's got people talking because scorecards again, and I'll just come out and fucking say it. I scored to Liam Cameron, and I don't care what he says. I scored to Liam Cameron. I thought every time Troy Jones came in, Cameron caught him. I thought Cameron was more accurate with his punches. I thought Troy Jones did he looked better. His quality of shots were better. He put the punches together. But between 6 and 10, I just thought he was tired, and I thought Cameron were able to pick him off every time he came in, landed the bigger shots, the heavier shots, and for me, he won that fight towards the end comfortably on 2 weeks' notice. 2 weeks. So imagine if he had a full camp.
He's changed his life around, Liam.
Massively, mate, yeah.
Yeah, he changed his life around, hasn't he? So I thought he won that fight as well. I thought he landed the clearer shots. I thought I forgot what the other lad's called, but he was just landing shots. Yeah, he was just landing shots on the arms. He was going to the body a lot, but they weren't really landing. I thought Liam caught him clean every time, so I gave it to Liam as well. People saying that the other lad got robbed. I was like, how? You know, Liam landed.
I'll tell you how. Don't worry.
I was like, I thought, me personally, I thought Liam was landing the clearer shots. So
yeah, I did. I thought his brow were nice and tight. They were nice and compact.
Yeah,
they were boxing basic. The basics were working. The shots were more hurtful. There were more facial damage on Troy. Troy were landing a lot on the guard. It was in and out. It looked more. He looked more busier as if he were in and out. But I thought Cameron caught him every time.
Yeah.
So, Siege, go on, brother.
I thought
he's got it 10-0. He's got Cameron winning 10-0.
It was. I thought it was close. I wouldn't say daylight robbery. I understand people being upset with the decision. Troy's work rate was phenomenal. You've got to give him that. Like his fitness and his combinations putting together, absolutely fantastic. He did have a full camp. Yeah, I'm getting there, Mr. Hand. Bear with me, please. Liam obviously going in on 2 weeks' notice. Definitely deserves the credit for that. But for me, not daylight robbery. Liam's done a good job. I thought the power was with him, definitely. The shots were definitely more hurtful. I'm going to lead you now to Eric. Gideon, if you want to unplug your headphones, because I think he's going to go on a rant here, mate.
I can see how you feel Troy Jones won if you're dipping in and out of the fight.
I rewatched it. Don't play that one with me. I rewatched it. No, you know what? I felt like Cameron got outworked the first half of the fight. Certainly, the first half of the fight, I felt he got outworked. He got outpunched. He was landing good shots. He was landing the good shots in between. But I felt like Troy Jones was certainly, especially going into, I think, the 5th round, Troy Jones was really, really on him. After the 5th round, Troy gassed massively. He gassed out, and Liam Cameron were picking him off. I think Liam were picking him off 6, 7, 8 was a closer round. I felt Troy Jones sort of got a little bit back into it. Round 8, round 9, Liam, and I felt Troy Jones nicked the last round because he just thought Liam was fucked. I scored it 97-93. I don't think it was a robbery rewatching it, but I do think Troy Jones won. I think if it gave a draw, I could understand a draw because the later rounds, Liam was certainly in more control of it, but I felt Troy at least won one of those later rounds. In the first half of the fight, I thought he swept the first half because he outworked Liam. He landed more. He landed the more shots than Liam. Liam was landing clean shots, but I'm not going to give you a round for landing 2 or 3 clean shots when a guy's wailing off on you from one side of the ring to the next.
On his arms, they're not
listen, he's outworking you. He's
out.
outworking you. He's putting you in positions you don't want to be in. So that's how I say. But although I'll be moving on to the later card, it's not that decision was worse. Was worse than the Buatsi one, in my opinion. That's all I can say.
Not
if anybody has an issue with a Buatsi one, they should have an issue with this one. That's all I can say. We'll move on.
Wait there, just before we do move on, did anyone, right, and I know it's a fucking needle in an haystack, but did anyone catch the interview he's on about his teddy bear? Did anyone catch that?
Who's
William
that?
Cameron. He says, he's been posting and all them, and he says, he thought when he was a kid that boxing was only something that you could do on the TV people could do it and that were it. So he used to do his ring walks, teddy up on his bed, and he used to leather the fuck out of his teddy bear. But yeah, one of them. Much funny when you watch the fucking interview compared to me saying it but yeah, we'll move on. We've got who is it? It's Lyndon Arthur versus
Lyndon Arthur versus Brad Ray. Yeah, I'll go first on this one.
Go for
obviously, last week me, CJ, Dan, everyone said if Lyndon Arthur turns up, he can win this. But we don't know if Lyndon Arthur will turn up because anytime I pick Lyndon Arthur to turn up, he doesn't turn up. And I've said it so many times. Lyndon Arthur has one of the best jabs in boxing. I don't understand how it's such a good jab. But half the time when he's fighting, he's lazy and he can't be bothered he doesn't stick to it. But on that night, Lyndon Arthur put on an absolute brilliant performance. Early on, it was, I think Brad Ray was on top of him. He sort of thought, I can get him out of here. This is an old man. I'll be able to do him. And Lyndon Arthur sort of old manned him, weathered the storm a little bit, kept popping his jab, catching him. And then the tide just turned. The tide completely turned and Lyndon round after round. I felt like he hurt Brad Ray, quite a few times. But yeah, really good performance from Lyndon. Then again, his last performance against Yard, I felt like he lost the fight himself rather than actually losing to Yard. I felt like he let that fight slip and he didn't make that mistake against Brad Ray. Yeah, that's it. I thought it was a really good performance from Lyndon Arthur.
Go on,
Gideon, did you catch that fight?
Yeah, I caught that fight. I watched it actually. I just like how Lyndon was so calm and composed even after the knockdown.
Yeah.
Because not many boxers can recover from that, and it was a heavy knockdown as well in the second round.
Didn't he?
Yeah.
Yep.
The way he fell, it was quite heavy. But he got straight back up, and it was like nothing ever happened. And like you said, he weathered the storm really well, and he did what he had to do to win. Like I said, that makes a great boxer. That makes a champion. That's what champions are made of. So I thought he did really well and 100% deserves the win, and he got it.
What I liked about it when he got dropped as well, he took his time. He went on to, he got up, went on to one
right.
He took the full count, took his time, got his senses gathered, and then when he got back up, he just boxed smart, really smart. Everything he did on the night was really good, and that's the Lyndon Arthur that needs to turn up in those big fights. Because a really good performance, because he was the underdog. Everyone was picking against him. Most people, we all picked against him, not because he isn't talented and we don't know how good he is. It's just what guy turns up.
Yeah.
Go on, Sage.
I was really impressed with Brad Ray. I thought he started fantastic. Obviously, whether it was maybe he put a bit too much into it in the early round, I don't think there was enough in the tank later on as the fight got on. But I was really impressed with him. Lyndon, like you say, has all the talent in the world, has challenged at the top. You know, to take that knockdown as well as he did, it's only from experience. It's only because he's been there, he's done that. Brad really impressed me. I wish he'd have pushed on a little bit more, probably in them earlier rounds. He maybe, I don't know, he maybe could have got Lyndon out there if he'd applied a bit more pressure. He'll come again. That's the main point, is what I'm trying to get to. Brad Ray will come again. He's definitely got time. I'd like to see Lyndon make the most of this now and push on. I mean, from the fights that were in there that night, I think Lyndon beats Parker hands down. I think Lyndon half is all wrong for Parker. I don't know what we're going to say about Buatsi just yet, so I'll leave that for now. But yeah, Lyndon for me, I hope he pushes on now and takes that to world title, because he deserves it if he turns up. When Lyndon's like that, comes back firing in all cylinders, he can hurt people. He's obviously got a lot of power. His ring craft's fantastic. His jab's phenomenal. So I just hope this is the time for him now, and we don't see him have another setback from here. And Brad Ray, I hope they don't rush him. Not saying he needs like a tune-up, but he will come again. He needs to stay in that mix. I'd like to see Brad Ray and Cameron, to be honest. I think that'd be a fantastic fight.
Yeah, I agree.
Be a good fight. Brad Ray didn't make a disgrace of himself. He actually boxed really well. He just came up against a veteran who knew how to handle himself in deep waters. And when he got late on into the fight, he knew what he had to do, and he controlled it really well, Lyndon. But Brad Ray never stopped trying. He was always in there. So yeah, good performance from both. And like we do on here, that's why we call this Crossroads. When you lose, it's not the end of the day. It's part of a learning curve. It's part of your career. You might end up with some losses, but you've got to keep going. And fans need to get on that side. Footballers lose games week in, week out, and yet you turn up and support them. You support your football team. Fighters should have the same courtesy, that if you're a supporter of that fighter, a fan of that fighter, you should support them through good times and the bad times.
Exactly that. I was very happy with Lyndon after winning. He needed that performance. He after the past couple of performances and coming into the twilight zone of his career as well, he needed that win. Or at least that performance, going out on his shield sort of thing. So I was really happy to see him do it again. His style sort of, and I'm not comparing the two because I know they're two different levels, but it just reminds me of Miguel Cotto sometimes, Lyndon half, when he gets going with his boxing. Very similar style. And I was watching, and don't, like, for anybody that's just a casual viewer who was watching somebody on the ropes, don't like disregard the fact that to be able to be on the ropes taking a lot of shots and to be able to look your opponent still in the eyes while you're taking these flurries of shots is probably one of the most ball dropping and hardest things that you can possibly do. Given you probably know yourself, like when you've been dropped or you've been hurt or you're winded and you're on ropes and you've got to try and weather it and look at your opponent so you see the shots coming. That must be difficult and absolutely like scary to do. So for him to be able to do that, remain composed, get his breath back and box the way he did, brilliant performance. And like I said, Brad Ray put the shots together, the good hand speed, the quality of shots, just a bit too much of a step up. But at the end of the day, if you don't take risks, you don't get no rewards. So it is what it is, and it'll be good to see them both in the ring in the future. The main event,
Dan,
boys,
you're right. Before you go to that, Dan's right. It was the fight of the night. Yeah, it certainly was. I think both men deserved it for the effort they put in. Yeah, go on, Ricky.
So we've got Josh Buatsi versus Zach Parker, and I don't know where to start.
I don't let Eric start first.
Oh, there we go.
You know, I'm not letting Eric start. Eric can wait a minute. Let's go with Gid.
Say that again. I lost a little bit of connection.
Oh, we're gonna let you start because Eric will he'll have a tangent for about 15 minutes.
with the Joshua Buatsi.
Josh Buatsi versus Zach Parker, mate. Yeah, sorry.
So, first of all, I'm gonna say Joshua won that fight. I remember watching it live for the first time, and I'll be honest, I thought Joshua lost that fight. So I was like, this is not the Joshua like we're used to seeing. We're used to seeing that Joshua that's always on your, I thought Joshua was gonna knock him out. That's what I expected, anyways. because that's what we know Joshua Buatsi for. He's a good finisher and he's really good at it, and he can do that to anyone really. But watching that fight, I was like, this is not the Joshua we're used to seeing. I personally thought maybe he's taken a lot from the his last fight with Callum Smith, so I thought maybe that's took a massive toll on him. But I was like, this is not the Joshua we're used to seeing. However, when they said the decision, I thought he lost it. But I remember my dad came home and I said, Dad, Joshua's box awful. Because bear in mind, I'm a Buatsi fan. Like, I love Joshua Buatsi. I look up to that guy and everything. But I said to my dad, like, Dad, Joshua's box awful. Like, he shouldn't have won that fight. And then I rewatched it with my dad. And my dad was like, did you watch the fight properly? And I was like, yeah, I watched every single bit of it. And he was like, watch it again. Tell me who's landed more clear. So I watched it and I studied every round. And my dad was right. Joshua was landing the clearer shots. And I remember watching Zach Parker's interview saying he didn't land a shot on me. He barely landed a shot on me. I'm like, are you all right? Because his face was all bust up. And he's still saying he barely landed a shot on me. But look at that. He barely landed a shot on me. But I thought rewatching it again, I thought, yeah, Joshua did win that fight. He landed the clearer shots. He was the aggressor, and threw a load more combinations than Zach did. You don't win a fight by hitting once and then running and going onto the floor and all of that. That's not how you win a fight. Like I said, he didn't come to win the fight. He came to steal the fight. And obviously, I'm not trying to make an excuse for Joshua's performance, but I thought Joshua won that fight, and I don't think it was Joshua's best performance. In fact, I think it was one of Josh's worst performances. But end of the day, he got the win, and that's what matters. Don't matter how you get it, as long as you get it.
CJ?
Go on. Who tried to take that then? I'll take it first.
CJ, go on, mate. You go.
So I had to rewatch it. A bit like you said, when you may be a bit biased with it, or not biased, but when you want your guy to win and you're watching, obviously I didn't think it was a great performance. But then I think it was social media straight away after saying how much of a robbery it was. To me, Buatsi's performance was poor, and that flattered Parker. Because I've rewatched it again. Parker didn't box fantastic. He had a good work rate. Not a lot of gloves are connecting. No. Me and I think it was you, Eric. We both sort of said the same thing last week, that I don't think Virgil Hunter's done wonders for Buatsi.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know if you think the same, Gideon. I agree. I don't think he's aggressive. He doesn't seem to have that aggression anymore. For me, I've rewatched it. Parker, I feel for the guy. I understand what he's saying, but he didn't. I don't think he did that fantastic, and I don't think the outrage of robbery is that big either. Ricky, where are we going with this?
So, I rewatched the fight. So initially, I watched the fight, like I said, in and out before a Saturday night shift. I'm not letting him have it yet because he'll take the rest of the episode. Anyway.
Look how stressed he is, man. He keeps rubbing his hair and his hat on that.
I'm waiting. I need to go last minute because I've got enough to say.
Let it run. So I was dipping in and out of the fight, and initially watching it, obviously I watched it more than I was paying attention to. I thought oh fucking hell. I think Zach Parker might have got this. I did the videos and initial thoughts, and then I did a rewatch of the actual fight on my phone, so I was zoned in, not listening to the biased commentary team. Absolutely horrendous from them on the night. I thought Carl Frampton scorecards, who I don't normally disagree with, but were fucking outrageous. Again, Zach Parker in and out, looking busy, looking the part, in and out, dipping, throwing loads of shots, not all landing, but looking like to a fan that's in an arena that's drinking, heavily drunk, looking at zoning out, talking to the mates, singing. You're gonna see what you want to see, and you're just seeing Parker in and out. You're not seeing the cute shots that Buatsi's landing. Yeah, Buatsi is slow, flat-footed, not the usual pace that we're used to with Buatsi. The fast hands, the power, cutting off the ring. the combinations, it were more like single shots. Like, I don't know what Virgil's done to him, but he did land. Whenever Parker came in, he landed. He landed the more hurtful shots. He landed the bigger shots. His jab, that fucking punch statistic thing, where you've got that person who's pushing a fucking button, needs sacking, right? Because Buatsi will land in his jab all night. And then I think I spoke to Eric, and it was like round 2 or 3 that they reckoned Buatsi only landed 2 jabs and threw 3 punches. I don't know what and how they were doing that. But no, for me, it weren't a clear win. It's not the win Buatsi needed, neither. It weren't the result he needed, because now he's got a controversy on his route back and a potential risk of a rematch for a man that he doesn't need to be rematching, as he needs to push forward with his career. But go on, Eric, I'll let you go for it.
And that's all we've got time for tonight, guys. Sorry about that, Eric. We've missed you.
Bye, Eric.
I got half past as well. No, yeah, Buatsi's performance wasn't good. I'm a massive Buatsi fan. These lot know I'm a Buatsi fan, but his performance wasn't good, and I felt like the commentators played on his performance to give Parker credit. A lot of the time, the commentators were saying what Buatsi wasn't doing, not what Parker was doing, not anything. They just kept saying Buatsi's not doing this, Buatsi's not doing that. Oh, he's not boxing really well. And he wasn't boxing well, but every time Parker landed, it was a jump in with either an uppercut to the body, or he switched stance to throw a jab instead of throwing a power shot. Every time he'd switch stance to throw a jab. Yeah, the flicking jabs was landing, but in between that, not once did they ever call out what Joshua was doing, because when they did get on the inside, the reason why Parker kept going to a knee is because Joshua was working on the inside and he didn't like it. He kept going down, dipping below the waist, which he should have had a point taken off him, because you can't dip below the waist that many times in one fight and not get a point taken off you. I don't care what anybody says. Parker's success was one shot at a time. And like I said with the Liam Cameron situation earlier on, I'm not going to give you credit for just landing 1 or 2 clean punches in a round. Liam Cameron's cleaner punches was power shots, fair play. But Zach Parker's wasn't. It was either a jab from the southpaw stance or a jab from the orthodox stance. He never stayed in one stance to throw power shots. The only power shot, if he did throw one, was a left hook as he was coming out trying to escape and would catch Josh. But moving on to Josh, I think Virgil Hunter is not the right trainer for him. I literally became a Joshua Buatsi fan because of how he boxed. He was aggressive. He was a great finisher. He let his hands go in combinations, and he was relentless. Since he's gone with Virgil Hunter, he's become a thinking fighter, a slow fighter who's thinking too much before he throws a punch. And when he does get his guy hurt or catches his guy, he waits 3, 4, 5 seconds before he goes again. Whereas Buatsi before, he would get you hurt and that was it. He was on you. He was on you. Fights was finishing that quick because that's what he did. So I don't like the Virgil Hunter matchup with him. I think he needs to go back to I'm not sure who his trainer was before, but either that or change trainers where it's a trainer that's going to allow you to throw in combinations and not be so passive. He's very passive, it seems, lately, Josh. But for me, I felt he won the fight. I felt he landed the cleaner shots. I think it was a close fight. If you want to give Parker credit for some things, but the commentary was awful. The commentary made the whole perception of the fight what it was.
I agree.
In my opinion.
I agree. I think a good coach for Buatsi would be someone like Ben Davison.
Yeah. I fucking said that.
Ricky said that.
I think a good coach for Buatsi would be someone like Ben Davison. I think Ben Davison could bring a lot out of Buatsi, technical wise, and bring back that aggression that we're used to seeing. I think that link up will be so much beneficial for Buatsi, and I think if he has someone like Ben Davison in his corner, I think we're back to seeing what we're used to seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've said it for the last 3 fights with Josh. The Willie Hutchinson fight, I didn't like the ending of that fight because Josh could have finished him after 7 rounds. Like, you dropped him twice in round 7, Josh. Like, that you should have finished him. That's the reason why he had the BS draw card on that. I don't understand how they scored that a draw. Even the Callum Smith fight, yet again, similar to Lyndon Arthur and Yard, I felt like they lost themselves those fights, because when they did get their man in certain situations, they didn't. Well, Josh, when he got his man in certain situations, he just didn't press on the gas. He allowed Callum to recover, and Callum, when Callum recovered, he's a very good boxer, Callum Smith. And you can't afford to give Callum Smith, Callum Smith, those opportunities to recover. He's just not aggressive enough when he gets his man hurt anymore. And he has been for the last 3-4 fights. I think really they should be looking at switching things up, because now Josh needs to not only perform now, not only win, he needs to perform now. Because a lot of people, that the consensus now is Joshua Buatsi is nothing really. He's just struggled, or he's just robbed. Zach Parker, what is he? That's the perception right now. So Josh really needs to start performing. So I think a trainer change, a camp change, something needs to change. Because I think a Willie Hutchinson rematch is going to be next.
Do you think?
There's a reason why. There's a reason why they had Willie Hutchinson there. That's the only reason why he was there, was to fight the winner of this fight. They won't do a rematch because the fight was awful. There's no point in doing a rematch when the fight was horrible.
It won't sell tickets. It won't sell the arena.
It won't sell. Nobody. They're not going to do that. Zach Parker's not a big enough name. Zach Parker's not a big enough name for Queensberry to go, oh, well, we thought Zach were. Frank Warren posted straight after, congratulations to Joshua Buatsi. I was like, everybody on Twitter was slating Joshua Buatsi. Yeah, that was his Queensberry debut.
It's not the debut I can imagine that Buatsi wanted. But Gideon, you said you studied that fight. So if you look at that fight now, what do you think? How would you, if you were Buatsi now, how would you take that fight? Like, studying it, what would you have done to get the win? What would you have done with Zach Parker?
If I was to box Zach Parker, is just put the aggression on, put the pressure on. And obviously Zach Parker, all I saw anyways was he hits and grabs. I will give him the opportunity to grab. If as soon as I see him coming in to grab it, you take that step back and then you land your shots. Do you know what I'm saying? So
is it an uppercut and left hook by any chance? Because that's what he did.
There's an uppercut and left hook. Boom, boom. It's definitely shots because he left himself really, he left those shots really open. I think what let Buatsi down was his footwork. His footwork was really poor.
Slow.
He didn't very slow. He didn't use his footwork, and I feel like if you have really good footwork, he could have easily smoked Zach Parker. Zach Parker, he only made Zach Parker look good because Zach Parker was the one that was moving. But if he used his footwork in and out, he would have beat him easily.
Yeah, I felt Josh needed to cut the ring off a lot better. He was following. He was nonchalant how he was just following him around the ring.
Yeah.
Like, he seemed fed up. He seemed pissed off at the whole situation of how the fight was going.
Yeah.
Which obviously he's a human. Like, it's going to happen. But as a professional, you sort of need to get that out of your head and do the right things. I felt like he wasn't cutting the ring off quick enough. He was just following Zach Parker around, allowing Zach to walk around. And while Zach was doing that, Joshua Buatsi was the one that was getting the flack for it. Yeah. Because Zach Parker was skating around the ring, not actually doing anything. And when he did do something, he'd go down to a knee. But because Josh wasn't using his feet or doing anything to negate Parker just being allowed to do that, he's the bigger name. Josh needed to realize he's the bigger name on that out of the two. He's the one that's going to get the more flack if you don't do what people expect from you.
Yeah, because obviously I didn't know Zach Parker before this fight until the fight was announced. So I didn't know nothing about Zach Parker until the fight was announced. So obviously Joshua was getting all this stick for it because we expected more. than what we saw.
That's it. And that's what I meant by Buatsi's performance was that bad. I think it made Parker's look better than it actually was. But I don't think he actually did that much if you review it. Like Ricky said, if he sat at home in the armchair or sat there live with a few beers, you might have thought, fucking hell, Parker's really taking it to Buatsi. But in reality, he wasn't. But it's just a shame that it's another bad day at the office for Buatsi, because we've seen what he can do with Callum Smith, who is, in my opinion, one of the best in the world. So he is in there. Maybe it is just time for that change.
That was a better performance. Which is crazy. The Callum Smith performance was a better performance than the Zach Parker one.
We've just had someone right in there, Gideon, just to say, can you ask Gideon if his fight is televised? Are you going to be on?
It won't be televised on TV, but it will be on. It will be live on YouTube, so you can.
It'll be live on YouTube. Just stream it on.
YouTube. It'll be streamed on YouTube. Yeah.
What's the channel?
It'll be Outlaw Boxing Promotions. So
Josh Wales show.
Yeah, Josh Wales show in Barnsley Metro Dome.
Oh, nice one, man. Yeah, I've done there a few times. Have you been there? It's a good setup.
Yeah, I've been there. I boxed there in my second nationals, actually.
Right.
So it'll be nice to return back there as a professional. So yeah, that'll be really nice. Yeah.
Good man. Good man.
Brilliant. I've got one more question for you then, Gideon, to bow out with. In a week's or so time, these two meet again. Who do you have and why?
There's only one right answer, Gideon.
Come on, let him have his own opinion.
There's only one right answer.
Who have you got, kid? Come on.
I'm gonna go with Chris Eubank Jr.
I told you there was only one right answer. There was only
the
one
reason
right answer.
the reason why I go for Chris Eubank Jr. is because from hearing what Conor Benn is trying to do with box, I don't think Conor Benn. I don't think Conor Benn is good at that.
No,
I don't think Conor Benn can box. I don't think he's built for that. So if he's saying he's gonna come and try box him, I think Chris is absolutely gonna school him. Yep. Chris is gonna manhandle him, and if not, stop him. So me personally, I think Conor Benn has to do what he did the first time, and that's to put the aggression on and try and rip his head off. But if he tries to come and box him, I think it's long days for him.
I said this after the first fight. Chris Eubank Jr. beat Conor Benn at his own game. Literally beat him at his own game. There's no other way Conor Benn can beat him. Conor Benn cannot beat him in a boxing match. He can't beat him in anything else. He even beat you in the best way you could have fought. Like if you ask Conor, like, how do you want Chris to fight this fight? That would have been what he wanted. He would have wanted Chris to stand there and trade with him because he believed he can knock him out. Yeah. And he couldn't do it. He'll get stopped this fight. I believe he gets stopped this fight.
Bearing in mind, like, he was dehydrated, had to make weight the same night as well. So if you can't beat a man with all those advantages, what makes you think you're gonna beat him this round time?
It's not that. When Eubank landed back cleanly as well, when he landed cleanly, the way Ben's head would pop back because his chin was high. I don't know how the guy did not have fucking whiplash.
Yeah.
Because his head would... I've never seen a head pop back like that. And, like, you see that with little kids when they first start sparring. Like, fucking hell. But...
Listen, Ben's not a good boxer. His footwork's absolutely terrible. No. I watched that. I rewatched the fight. And, oh, my God, his footwork is... He's like Bambi. Honestly, he just bounces constantly, and when he comes in, he goes square every single time. When he punches, he turns square.
He cannot box at all, I don't think.
No, I agree. I think that's it, isn't it, Ricky? Are we?
That's about it.
Why would you say that?
Don't fucking set people off, Dan.
Don't set him off at this stage of the game. Fuck me.
No.
We're about to leave here.
But no, Gideon, thank you so much for coming on.
Appreciate having me. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Cheers.
The first half an hour of this show is a full-on interview with Gideon, talking about his life, his amateur career, his professional career, his plans for the future, and who he's with and how he's doing it. And then the second half is just Eric ranting. So skip to the first 6 minutes, not the best bit. Gideon, thank you for coming on. I hope we can get you on in a few fights' time as well.
Yeah, of course.
Hopefully at some point with your belt round you.
Of course,
But I hope
man.
you enjoy
Appreciate
it,
you having me. Thank you. Means a
Thanks,
lot.
man. See you soon, pal.
No, we
Yes. See you
appreciate
later.
it, mate.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate
See you
you
later.
having me for Ricky, well done there. That was a good interview, mate. Really good interview.
Spot on
I
that,
can't be asked. I can't be bothered to mess it. But Ricky, can you sort this out? Because I ain't got a clue what's happening here. Look, it's
another band. All the Muslim cars now, whichever get up. I thought my scars with a sweet one bliss. Someone flicks me a bag by it. So, it's another one. It's another one, yeah. It's a full strand, yeah. Oh, it's another one. It's another one, yeah.